Joined by Mark Wilbanks with the Knoxville Fire Department. Mark, appreciate you joining us. As we know, two people trapped in some sort of trench operation in Union County at Big Ridge State Park. Knoxville fire crews are assisting in mutual aid. What are your guys doing? What do you know from your aspect right now?
So this morning about 8:15, we got a request for mutual aid by the Paulette Volunteer Fire Department through Union County EMA to come up to the state park area there for this operation. We sent 15 people, technical rescue team members, to go up with some technical rescue equipment. There are things called strong backs and shore ties and all this kind of stuff that we use to actually work in the trench with. So our technical team, along with the Knoxville Volunteer Rescue Squad, Oak Ridge Fire Department, and Paulette Volunteer Fire Department, a couple of other agencies are all up there working to bring these folks out of the trench as we speak right now.
A very meticulous process, I have to imagine. Just talk about what it looks like in rescuing people from a trench.
So, you know, you can think back to the trench rescue that we had on East End Skip a couple of years ago. Prior to that, the West Beaver Creek Drive, where we were with Rural Metro Fire and the Volunteer Rescue Squad, and we assisted them. These are long, labor-intensive processes that literally take hand digging to dig people out of a trench. Kind of depends on what the composition of the soil is, how moist the soil or how dry the soil is, how long it takes to dig through. So you can imagine if we're digging in mud versus loose, loomy soil, the time frame. We have vac trucks that are assisting. Those trucks can suck the dirt out, but our folks literally have to still go in there with hand shovels and dig that dirt out from around anybody that's in there. And depending on the situation with the person, they may need medical treatment as well. So that whole process is very slow. It's very meticulous. It just takes a lot of time to get somebody out. And then they've got to get to the hospital as quickly as possible.
Obviously, time is of the essence in a situation like this. You want to move fast, but when we talk about it being meticulous, you can't move fast because that's when other earth that hadn't fallen yet might fall, and really then you're working double time to undo the work that you just undid.
Well, not only that, you're putting other responders in jeopardy. If you're moving too fast, you can actually get people hurt very quickly if you're not careful. The folks that are trapped in the soil, they can become further trapped. The whole situation can go bad very quickly. That's why we take our time and we're very slow about what we do.
You talk about getting folks to the emergency room as quickly as possible, because oftentimes, let's say the best case scenario, they're trapped in an air pocket, they have enough air to breathe, but when you're compacted for so long in a situation like that, you then get compartment syndrome when you get out of there, that's when you get into the danger zone.
Yeah, so there's certain medications they need to be given. They need to get to the local trauma center, which would be UT, as quickly as possible. So potentially they could be flown from the site back up to UT Hospital. Just kind of depends on the situation, what's going on. But yes, there's a lot of very critical medical treatment that has to go on during that time frame as well. And that's going to be up to those folks that are on the site to determine what they need to do and work very closely together with the crews that are digging the folks out. And I should say, it's not just the Knoxville Fire Department doing this. It's a unified command. It's a lot of people working together to rescue these folks.
You talked about if you move too fast, it doesn't only put the people who are already trapped at risk and can put first responders at risk. What are you looking at on a scene like this that you all have to protect yourselves from yourself?
You know, they have a person that is specifically working as what's known as a safety officer, and their job is to walk around that trench and the piles that are around it and make sure there's no movement, make sure everybody's being safe. Everything from wearing, if they need hearing protection, eye protection, gloves, helmets, all the way down to, are the ground pads in the right place? Are we being safe? Are we going slow? Are we doing the right things? Simple vibration from a piece of equipment can cause a trench to collapse in if we're not careful. So we've got to make sure everything's shut off in the area. So it's a very precise operation.
And an operation that you all trained throughout the year to do. What does training for trench rescues look like on y'all's behalf?
You know, it's literally digging a hole in the ground and working through processes of rescuing people out of holes. That's kind of how it works. And our trench folks are very good at that. The Volunteer Rescue Squad has folks that are very good at that. Oak Ridge Fire as well. Those technical teams, they all work the same way. They know the same processes. So they're able to work well together, but training is an extremely important part of this. And our technical rescue team trains a lot on this type of stuff.
You all have 15 people you set on scene. rough numbers, probably don't know an exact number, but how many men and women are trained within the Knoxville Fire Department to work on a scene like this?
So we have a technical rescue team of roughly 65 people. Okay. We don't send all of our folks out because we leave people back here in Knoxville to handle daily operations if something else were to happen. As a matter of fact, all of our county assets don't even leave the county at the same time. So right now, Rural Metro Fire Department, their assets are still here in Knox County. If something happened, we would have a backup to our backup system just in case.
And you all train with other departments across East Tennessee so that when you do get called in for mutual aid, you all know the kind of language that you're talking and you all sort of work lock in step to get that done.
That's correct. We all use the same language. We use the same processes. We all kind of know how each other are going to operate. Obviously, our team works closest together with the folks that they know, but they kind of know everybody. They kind of know the operation, especially in the region.
Hopefully this situation comes to a positive end. What does a sort of post look at this look like on the Knoxville Fire Department's side?
You know, it's kind of hard to determine how long the operation is going to go on and what the outcome is going to be at this point right now. But we'll go back and we'll sit down and we'll look at, did we get out the door quickly enough? Did we, when we got on scene, did we take the right operations in the right manner at the right time? So we'll take an overview of what we did with our team, and they'll make sure that they did everything that they should have. And were our communications good? Just some simple things like that that sometimes gets overlooked.
Mark, anything else that people should know about a trench rescue and the operations that's going on as hopefully 2 lives are saved today?
You know, we don't do this a lot, thankfully, but a couple of things is, you know, we always want to make sure that these contractors that are out in the community working, they're using the safety precautions, they're following all the OSHA rules and regulations that they're supposed to. That's what keeps people safe.
Awesome. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it,
thank
as
you.
always.